objective approach. Happiness, are we the measures of our well-being, people's actual lives in the world, and what we can do in terms of setting out to improve them. So there's kind of the themes that we'd like to reflect on and explore. And I think we might also think about justice itself and what kind of institutions might administer justice and what standards we might use to make judgments in the world. So my panel then, in the order in which they're going to speak, on my left, I'm very pleased that we have Stuart Wallace here. Stuart is the Executive Director of the New Economics Foundation. He's a long career in business and with the World Bank, after which he joined Oxfam in 1992 as the International Director, ending up having responsibility for about 2,500 staff in 70 countries, and all of Oxfam's policy, research, development, and emergency work worldwide, leading to him being awarded the OBE for services to Oxfam in 2002, and he's the author of A Radical New Vision for World Trade. Next up on my right here is Anil Gupta. Anil is the professor at the Indian Institute of Management at Ahmedabad. He's the founder of the Honeybee Network, which looks to demonstrate the potential of knowledge-rich but economically poor people in developing societies, ways in which they can take those societies out of what he calls a morass of mediocrity and lead them on a path of sustainable progress. On my immediate right, following Anil, is Bruno Waterfield. He's a bit of a regular at the Battle of Ideas. He's the Brussels correspondent for the Daily Telegraph since 2006. Before that, he was part of the founding editorial team of epolitics.com. He's written a pamphlet, a book called No Means No, a reflection on the no votes in the Lisbon referendum. And he's a big fan of George Orwell, which I think is a good thing to be bringing into this session today. So after Bruno, on my far right, Anne Bernstein, who's the Executive Director of the Centre for Development and Enterprise in South Africa. She's just published a new book called The Case for Business in Developing Economies, reflecting on the huge amount of regulation that can often stand in the way of entrepreneurship and the growth that she believes is required for developing economies to raise the living standards of everybody in these economies. She's a leading world expert on development and a policy analyst. And finally, on my far left, Sabina Alkira. Sabina is the director of the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, something very much inspired by Amartya Sen's work. She researches multidimensional poverty measurement and analysis, welfare economics, and the capability approach, how we might measure questions of freedom and human development. She's written an important book on that called Valuing Freedoms, Sen's capability approach